What's the difference between marketing and comms? What's the difference?
This thing is an age-long problem. So I'm going to give my perspective and not a definitive answer. In a setting, both of them are together, right? Can be combined, right? Traditionally, right? Marketing should not exist without comms. And comms, although comms can exist without marketing, but marketing should not exist without comms, right? And comms is supposed to be an adjunct to marketing, right? However, as a result of how the space has grown over time, right? Marketing involves the whole process that goes into getting people to do something for you, getting the whole process that comes into converting people from just observers to users, right? So it goes through the whole funnel of acquisition, it goes through the whole funnel of attraction, attention getting, intent, the whole IDA. There are different formats to just talk about that little process.
Opeyemi, how are you doing? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm okay. I'm doing good.
Eyes work. Why are you passionate about Nigeria? On your Twitter account, I always see one of my mates, Pakuma, he has given up about Nigeria. But you still talk about Nigeria.
I don't have any other place to call home.
Let's pick it up from the fact that there's something you talk about sometimes now. Why do we want new states?
Why do what?
Why do we want new states? Many people say we should create new states in Nigeria. You said you don't want that.
It's not a question of I don't want that. How many states are administratively viable currently in the country? That's the question. That's where we should start. So, if the current ones are not administratively viable, why are you adding more? So if we want, so it just means that something is working or something is not working, right? And again, it just looks like the whole conversation is just make it smaller so that a new set of people can own the resources of a new set of people. So it's not as a result of administrative convenience. Nobody is wanting new states because they feel like they want to take government to the people. No, it's just, okay, now if this is a new state, it means that I don't have to be fighting these former people for the pie. I just have to create a new set of people, right? And at the point of creating a new state, the strongest people in this new setting just become the leaders of that new setting. So it's not they are not thinking of the people, right? Yeah. Everybody's just thinking of how to colonize their own space. And I think that maybe that's one of the biggest problems that we have in the country, where I was saying somewhere one day, I said maybe most times politicians try so much to get power that they are not even focused on getting prepared on what to do when they get into power, right? So by the time they get into power, then they now realize that, wait. You have to do something. And then so maybe they take like the first 1-2 years to understand how things work, and then by that time you have to start preparing for the next election. So the cycle continues to. But again, there's no other place to call home. I think my own responsibility is to try. That's it. Just try.
I speak up. Maybe you continue to speak up, Abby.
I mean, and I don't even think I think I don't have as much power on governance, right? What I have is I'm trying to encourage people to be more responsible in their own little settings, right? Or try to see how I can support other people to grow enough economic power to be able to make their own business and political decisions, right? Because you cannot separate a person's political decision from where he's getting food to eat, right?
Yes.
And so if more people are comfortable enough,
do their everyday work very well.
Yeah. So then they can make informed decisions. And that's why for me, my focus has just been building small communities that inspire a critical mass of people to be able to contribute meaningfully to their smaller communities. That's also all. I can't tell my governor to do anything now, so
True.
He will never even hear me. So and yeah.
Well, one of the things that Sean will say is that he said he will cancel daily stand up if people can promise him that they will resume work. As I went the.
How did we enter that one? I thought it's politics you are talking about. How did we answer daily stand up?
No, I'm trying to come from the perspective that if you can get people to do better work in their everyday life.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, Colin Shamashano, I think getting close to the top and maybe getting into conversations with people who are holding relevant positions. Yeah. One thing that I've gotten to now realize is that it's not as easy as we all think it is. There are so many complex things. Like
business. As you grow up the ladder in business, you begin to understand the CEO.
There are so many complex things, right? Someone cannot just make a decision. Someone cannot just say something, right? Especially when you have so much power. It means that you now need to be more responsible, right? Hopefully, some people see the need to be responsible with the power that they have, right? Because what you say, what you don't say, complicates a lot of things for the lives of other people. So it's just interesting. I mean, my job is to just continue to hope, pray, and do the little I can, try to understand the system and see how much I can contribute. But yeah, home is home.
Speaking of power, do you remember this scene in Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Where Cersei was saying, where Littlefinger was saying knowledge is power, and Cersei said power is power.
See, this thing is marketing that Isa should come and talk of. And it comes. Now you are prone to politics. Yeah, power is power. Go ahead.
You agree that power is power?
Power is power. Power is power. Yes, I mean, knowledge is power at the level because you need knowledge to be able to appreciate the level of power, right? Your understanding of how systems work is what gives you access to power. But yeah, in the face of power, knowledge will power. What do you know? The thing is that the people that are powerful will use the people that are knowledgeable to increase their power at the end of the day. So, because knowledge is not useful when it is not utilized. What is the use of knowledge if there is no way to express your knowledge? So power is the one that creates an enabling environment for knowledge to be maximized. So when you say knowledge is power, how? Where are you going to? Right? I mean, so yeah, you can be wise, you can be, and that's why sometimes people relocate and they realize that, oh, I'm knowledgeable. It's just that where I was did not allow my knowledge to knowledge. So it's just the reality of things, right? Yeah.
Moving on. Let's move to marketing. Just to break the ice and ease into marketing. What common marketing mistake do you see people make? Like marketing 101, but everybody just fail to acknowledge it. Everybody just overlook it.
So first things first, this marketing space is very blessed. So I'm a comms person. I'm more of a comms person than a marketing person. So my job is just to support comms. So maybe after this first marketing question, just ask me comms, because these marketing people, they will come for me. I don't like people's space. I mean, you people have a lot to fight about. I don't do that. I just want to do comms.
I like the debate though. The debate is very interesting on Twitter.
It's fine. I mean, I don't like trouble. So the biggest marketing mistake that I think a lot of people, no, you guys don't do mistakes. You guys are so good.
But if we guys don't do mistake, everybody will be selling out now. We see companies that are closing.
You can do good marketing and it did not work now. How do you define good marketing? Because sometimes strategy is one thing, people's response is another thing. And that's why sometimes some people do the whole process that helps you to get into the market. It did not work. The one that you did not plan, you just stay one night and maybe you were somewhere having a good drink. The idea just dropped. Let's implement this, and you see everywhere just scatter. Because I think that I don't want to when you see marketing mistakes or what people, is that most times people think that marketing is just getting in the face of people, or that you don't need soul, you just need traction. And I think that's problematic on a lot of fronts, because that's why we're having a very high level of churn. Because people did not connect with your product. They just tried it because you pressured them. So when another person pressures them enough, they'll move to the other one. And so, especially,
pressure them with ads.
Yeah, I mean, so you're just pressuring. I mean, I've seen you a lot. Let me just try you. And I try you. And another person pressure me. I see it a lot and I go and try again. Because at that point, you have not connected. And then sometimes also, I mean, too much ads, especially if you're a fintech, in exposes you to bad actors to come and try their hands on your products too. So you learn fast. Right. But I think that one thing that is really important that I feel like a lot more marketing conversations should cover, as much as traction is important, to please do not ignore traction, because if you ignore traction, what exactly are you doing in the business? Right. It's also really important for you to inject soul. Soul just means that, I mean, you care about the people you're serving. Some people just want numbers. They don't even improve quality of service. And so you have a lot of numbers come and meet a blessed service, right? I'm going to be using blessed in place of very interesting choice of words that I cannot use a lot on this podcast, right? So some people just, or customer support is not ready, and then you attract a lot of customers and then you cannot resolve their question. And as a result of the fact that you did not even pay attention to comms, many people are attracted with limited information. So you are now drowned with inquiries. And now you're...
What's the difference between marketing and comms? What's the difference?
This thing is an age-long problem. So I'm going to give my perspective and not a definitive answer. In a setting, both of them are together, right? Can be combined, right? Traditionally, right? Marketing should not exist without comms, and comms, although comms can exist without marketing, but marketing should not exist without comms, right? And comms is supposed to be an adjunct to marketing, right? However, as a result of how the space has grown over time, right, marketing involves the whole process that goes into getting people to do something for you, getting the whole process that comes into converting people from just observers to users, right? So it goes through the whole funnel of acquisition, it goes through the whole funnel of attraction, attention getting, intent, the whole IDA. There are different formats to just talk about that little process. But in terms of first principles, is that everything that you need to do to ensure that someone knows that this is who you are, knows that you can do this for them, and that you put that process in a way that also ensures that they are getting it at the cost that they estimate your value to be, right? Which is now price, right? And then going through that conversation of using you and staying using you and giving people more reason to use you is what marketing should flow through, right? In terms of first principles. So Let me just take that again. Find out who you are, right? Know about what you can do for them, right? At the price that they have estimated you to be. More like, I feel comfortable to pay for this, or I can pay for this, because some people think that some people like it but cannot pay. You like it and you cannot pay. That means your like is not substantiated, because we see people who like and break the bank to buy what they really actually like.
Yeah, people save to buy iPhone, for example.
Yes, and they go into debt. But the like is not as strong as their pockets, and that's why sometimes it doesn't really work, right? And then they go through the whole process. Comms, at the end of the day, is slightly connected to that, but the end game for comms is modeling perception. The end game for comms is connection. The end games for comms is creating shared meanings. That's the end game for comms. And that's why people tell you that communication only occurs when the person on that other side gives a reaction or understands what you have said. That's why they say comms. But someone does not have to understand your marketing. The only thing they just need to do is to make a reaction. And that's why sometimes you convert people when you do a marketing or a campaign spend, and then they now come back and tell you, hey, so what do you do? what? And it happens every time in marketing.
I've signed up. So
Yeah, so what do I do? Yeah, but comms, at the other hand, is trying to do everything that you need to do to create shared meaning. Shared meaning and shared context is now what is now going to help people make a better decision about how to experience you. I used to say that, let me give a context that ties it up together. It may not be business, but at least it helps you see it. When you have like in a house,
a shared meaning,
shared meanings. You have a wife, who is, so the marriage system supposedly is supposed to be one of the most long-term value system, right? Cost of acquisition, you did one time, and then you have a long LTV, if God help you, right? So lifetime value that is extended, right?
Very, very high.
Right? And the only reason that exists is that there is communication. Why? Because the more you have less shared meanings, the tendency that a divorce or a considering other option is going to happen is very high. It's the same thing for brands.
You are saying once marketing goes out there to acquire the customer, comms is what solidify the customer and increase lifetime value.
Yes, because your comms is supposed to find out what the customer likes, try to understand them, consistently tells them what they need to hear to ensure that trust is maintained and loyalty is achieved.
Okay, customer retention is comms key performance indicator.
It is, but it is not. So the messaging part of the bit is where I would hand over to comms, right? So the messaging part of the bit, the PR part of the bit, a comms strategist at least is supposed to be working with the marketing team to ensure that we are saying the right thing. The comms person is supposed to have worked on the content strategy, should have worked on the messaging pillars that the marketing is supposed to ride on, right? The comms person is supposed to be like, there's problem between customer support and a customer, and you see that this one, if we do not say the right thing, it can escalate. The comms person is supposed to come in, right? There is a problem between the business and an important stakeholder. The comms person is supposed to come in with the right form of messaging to connect and like keep.
Let me bring up an example.
Come on.
This Boku issue that happened recently. The Boku mat issue that happened recently.
Run away from examples locally, but yeah, go ahead.
Fixing that issue, should it have been a comms person job?
That's a comms person's job. That's a comms person's job. First, a comms person is a person that should have like a lot of media tentacles, right? A comms person's responsibility is optimizing for, again, shared meaning, is optimizing for building shared context, right? A comms person's job is optimizing for building understanding. That is the KPI of a comms person. The KPI of a marketing person, even if a person can think comms, is relatively different, right? For example, one time I went to go and try my hands in marketing, and it was good. I was blessed because I learned a lot. But how I was doing marketing like comms, right? Now I'm a bit more experienced in it. But at the start, which cost like a little bit of struggle, I was doing marketing like comms because I was just very careful of let people understand it. Is the tone right? Bruv. Marketing person is just like, bruv, send this. Bah. Did the team is the bonus big on the design? What? what we attract people. That's what we are looking for. Me, I'm looking at, okay, fine, context, white spaces, design, color of the person on the flyer. She the time you
Put the 50% discount. Let it be bold.
rough. What I'm using to do one design, marketing person I used to do 15. Right, and again, because it's there's a level that you will get to in your marketing because you have grown by reason of use and by reason of systems that you have put in place. It makes it easy to replicate things at scale. Right, comms person usually thinks towards personalization, more like, okay, this is what we want to achieve. How do we get there? So the difference in approach is like, because again, the target key stakeholders have like fixed things that they are expecting the marketing person to do. The pressure is worse. So like, bruv, if you don't bring customers, right? I mean, again, it's So they are tiny little things. I mean, so comms is where you're doing PR.
Which tech company do you think is handling comms very well? Like very well.
Again, I like to run away from this kind of things. I will say that a lot on this podcast. I'm sorry, listeners. Because for the sake of national peace, like, right? But let me give an example of someone I've mentioned earlier. Yeah. About Copper, right? I think they are doing good comms. Why do I think so? As much as those guys are very, very execution driven, like they are very, very execution driven, and they understand where to find their customers, what to do, how
they understand it. I don't see their ads, I don't see their marketing, they're not targeting me, I don't see it.
They understand, they know the people they are looking for, they know where those people are, they know how to get them, they just go straight. But when they now want to see their comms is talking about impact. Their comms is talking about how the lives of the people that are using the product is changing. They are doing impact reports. They are proper. So as much as you are not seeing marketing, at least you are seeing comms, and then you are forming an opinion about the business. If one day someone that you know comes to ask you about Copper, you most likely have a lot of ingredients to talk about.
No, I like the brand, so to speak, maybe because of Babajide. I like Babajide as a person.
So they have given you enough things to talk about, right? Because you know too much about them that was not marketed to you.
True.
Right? It was more like they were having a conversation with you. So now you have a lot. So the thing people do not know is that trust is subconsciously built. So a lot of the things that you do overt to talk to people is not doing as much in terms of the weight of building trust as much as the things that are covered but long term. So you see you're doing PR. So you see you're sponsoring events. So you see you're attending regular stakeholder events that show that you understand the space. So you see that you're pushing out how-tos. So you see that maybe, for example, what Careerwise did at the time, you're getting young people and making them ambassadors, and those ambassadors are the one representing the company in your place. So first, it's just shared meaning, shared context, shared experiences, and so they can convert you at the level of information that is required in that space. An ambassador in school does not need to be saying some things that people in the city need to say. He will just say the thing that he
knows what to tell the person.
He will stay with you. Right? So those are the things that people need to understand, that comms thinks through, right? Comm is thinking through, okay, this hamper is going out, but do we need to be overt about this, or do we need to be strategic about this conversation, right? A comms person is thinking through, yes, I know that we can use all this news medium, but all this news medium that we have in this space has different kind of reputation. There is a medium that you are going to put this your news and people are going to feel like, bruv. There's another medium that you put it, I've said bruv too much. Okay. How do we say this? Okay. And so there's a medium that you're going to put this, and the reaction is going to be different as a result of how people receive that medium, right? So that's what the comms person is thinking. The comms person is thinking, you just had to lay off people. You need to manage the process of layoff, because some of the people who are going to be the biggest definition in terms of attracting the best talents to help you achieve your set objectives are going to ask the people who have previously worked in XYZ. You may not care when you are small, but when you begin to scale, that thing begins to come, especially if quality and legacy is what the conversation is for you. I know that legacy in itself is not a major focus for a lot of local brands, saying survival and long term and making money is, and that's why we do not have a lot of brands who have stayed above that length of time.
100 years, yeah.
We don't have a lot. We don't have a lot who survive enough, because again, but we have a lot of people who have made money. So, and which is a different thing. It's one thing to make money, is another thing to be able to build a sustainable long-term brand, right? So again, that's like a different conversation, right? But I'm just saying that, how did you even enter here, Seth? Yes. But how did you get here? But yeah, you were asking. So I used comms is just really important. And that's why a lot of the bigger brands pay attention to comms. The legacy brands do not joke.
Yeah, I see a lot of asset
brands. The legacy brands do not joke with comms.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you that, which tech brand, because I see a lot of comms from
FMCG, traditional companies.
I don't see from
do
tech.
Not joke with comms. Why? And they are the ones that have like the most users. Tech is just growing, and tech just have flair. But in terms of those who are Babai Saleh, who have managed
to particularly,
they have a proper comms team who is supposed to just be thinking comms. Their job is not marketing. Marketing and sales is a different department. Comms and PR is a different department. Their job is just thinking stories. Their job is thinking impact reports. Their job is thinking ESG. Their job is thinking positioning. Their job is thinking messaging. Their job is thinking channels to explore, areas to be seen that gives a level of equity, solving problems between customers and the company, helping to downplay escalation. That is just the focus of, that's what they are doing. They don't come to work thinking, how many customers have we got today?
Dangote's com teams, they have a lot of work on their hand recently.
They have. I mean, and you see, they have been posting. I mean, and you see, when if it comes back, they even see yourself will hold mic.
CEO will have to come outside and do comms.
Chairman, it's the mic more.
Interesting. But let's go to personal branding. One of the things you said about personal branding is that a brand, if somebody is meant to bring personality to the brand and not bring yourself to. When we were discussing something on Twitter with Femi Anthony, we spoke about when a email marketer is resigning, and then somebody else is coming on, and you have to bring out comms and say, "Hey, Amaka from Dangote is leaving." Oh.
That one in itself is not personal branding. I think that's personality, brand personality.
Yeah, brand personality.
Again, this is not something that the local market has been able to manage. And I understand we are still evolving as a market. The needs at the time is not particular. My first time out, I was just saying, God, see my work. My first trip out, and I was like, what do you want me? But I understand where I'm coming from too. You cannot just put some money into this space, because one, even the customers and consumers are not informed enough to be able to appreciate some of the things that you want to do. You will need to grow them along that funnel for them to appreciate. And if a value is not appreciated, it cannot return value to you, right? So yeah, brand personality. I was the conversation that day was around the fact that that some brands, when they send emails or when they had a money car, and it changed, and the person who was managing it changed, then it was obvious that the person who is managing this has changed. And someone was like, okay, it's good that you reintroduce XYZ if there is an exit or someone. And I was like, nah. Because the reality, do you think that Apple has not changed people over the last 20 years? Or do you think that Google has not changed people? Or do you think, let me even use one as well, do you think that Heineken has not changed people? Or Mortina? Or Nestle? They have changed people now. Or Shell? They have changed people now. The problem is most people take the shortcut, which is that they do what is working and continue to do what is working without understanding long-term play, which is that sometimes if you take an action and it works and people, for example, when everybody were funny, everybody now wanted to be funny. I'm like, if your brand is not supposed to be funny, don't be funny.
Don't be funny.
Don't be funny. Imagine now, let me use this one as example, that people are doing joke and they are doing happy go and First Bank say they want to go and do it. If First Bank do joke to me, I'm most likely going to First Bank, and you know.
Are you serious?
But if Sterling Bank does it, I'll be like, okay, nice. So maybe First Bank should be First Bank and just hone what their personality has been over time. Yes, they can have times where they inject a bit of humor. So DNSF is even appreciated because it is done from their own personality. If they want to change personality or change skin, which is okay, they can. Or if they now want to do a sub-product that can have that flair, that startup flair, then they have the startup products. And I think Sterling Bank has hacked that sense. I mean, when they did like the Sterling Bank, there's One Bank, there's Alternative Bank, and the three brands have similar coloration, but not directly the same. You can see the difference in how they operate, even if the DNA is similar, right? So these are things that we could. One person, there's another person that tried to do that, not work. But this is a big brand, and I want them to work with me, so I will not mention their name. They do smaller startup. The smaller startup to today, people don't call the smaller startup name. It's a big brand, very big brand, one of the top 10. If I say top 3, you know, so top 10, right? How many banks do we have? So, but people still kind of like, if I call the name of the bank now, people will call. If I call the name of the sub-product, people will call the parent name instead of the sub-product, right? However, for the other ones, they've been able to, people at least know the sub-product from the main product. There are two brands that have been able to hack it. People know the sub-product different from the main and mother brand. How did I get into this place? I think I was talking about First Bank being First Bank, brand personality, right? Brand personality is just who is the brand, right? And who is the brand does not mean the owner of the brand, because the owners of the brand can change, right?
And this is where comms and branding go in depth. Actually,
I know that's why for us is brand and comms now. It is
the way you're talking about it now. I'm kind of seeing it from a very good perspective now. That if I'm doing email marketing, for example, as a marketing person, I just want to check the revenue. I don't care if the
open rate, low. So yeah,
open rate, bro.
Open rate.
Open rate is okay. So it doesn't go up. So, but looking at it from what you have been saying so far, I'm not saying that comms and brand actually go way deeper than we marketers look at it.
Like it's strong. This market does not appreciate it yet as a result of the level of maturity of the startup space. However, you see those other people, they know it's bad. See those FMCG and traditional businesses that have lasted. Like they know it well. Some of them may not understand the structured way to get to do it, but they understand the principles that guide comms and PR. right? They understand the principles, which is like really more important. Principles is more important than terminologies. CTR,
What's
SCVS.
it in Bible?
It's not. It's just understand the principles that guide these actions, right? And to just go back, so brand personality, very important. So your brand is who you are, like what you represent, the people's gut feeling when they think about you, which should be curated by you, because sometimes we used to have that conversation on people's gut feeling, and we define gut feeling from the perspective of how people perceive you, not how you have curated yourself to be perceived. That's problematic to me. Why is it problematic to me? If how you think about me is different from how I think about myself, that's problem. Not to accept an identity. Nah, is to find, to solve, so that what I think about me is the same thing with how you think about me. Alignment has to happen, not accepting a misalignment as an identity. What is going to happen on the long run is that there's going to be conflict, because you are now going to be running your business based on people's perception of you. So it means that if a new generation of people come, you may have to change and fail in the changing, because what is driving it is not you, it's outside. But if you now get to see, most of the brands that have stood the test of time are people who have a strong identity, and different generations have to come to align to that identity in different ways. Go and check it. Most of the strongest brands, they have their own identity, then different generations now come to experience that identity and form their own different ways. How a Gen Z we interact with Shell is different from how someone who has known Shell for 100 years we interact with Shell, but Shell is still Shell, right? How a BBC, a CNN, right? I'm just even looking for a Coca-Cola. I love Coca-Cola so much, guy. Those people are, I think that they are one of the best marketing and communications run company in the whole wide world. I don't think anybody comes close to Coca-Cola.
People mention Apple actually.
No.
Apple does not come close in comes.
No. The people who have Coca-Cola in their hand are more than the people who have Apple in their hand. Right? And the people who know about Coca-Cola are more than the people who know about Apple.
Like, you can be in a remote place in Nigeria and Coca-Cola will be in your hand.
Bruh,
in a very, very remote place.
I read a research somewhere, I don't even know why I can, but it has just stayed in my mind that there are two very popular brands in the world, Coke and the Bible.
Oh my God.
So, and these are the things that have gotten to the remotest of locations, right? And Coke does adverts as if they're a new brand.
Yes.
Like they are this Christmas now, another one will come out.
They've released one. There's already a uproar about it. AI generated.
they will still release another one.
AI generated.
I don't like, sometimes I'm like, sometimes I want to work in a company like that, to be honest, to be really honest. I still want to, and I know I will just go and do IT. Don't pay me. Let me just sit in the strategy meeting. I will just sit at the edge. I just want to understand how these people are thinking, right? Like so
and many people have come over time, and the Coca-Cola brand still remains, the identity, the brand personality still remains
the same. Over 100 years. What level of intentionality builds that level of depth? The same. So, like, even if they employ you, you will have sense, because as they're employing you, they'll first give you brand strategy document. If you do not align with brand strategy document, maybe you will not last 6 months. So
if Amaka from Dangote is leaving, she should be able to leave, and
the brand continues to be what the brand is. Your brand is not defined by your employees. Your employees take on the coloration of an existing brand. Because people leave. Right? People leave. So if your brand now is at the mercy of employee, it just means that if Saka put to MTN, everybody will follow. And now he's not even an employee.
Like
So
that Saka campaign is just so
so
groundbreaking.
your brand, except you know that this person is tied to the hip of your joint forever and ever. You don't build a brand around people. You build people around a brand. That's what ensures sustainability.
That's
I've
fine.
been doing
That's
plenty
fine.
quotable quotes. Let me reduce it.
You don't. you don't. You do you think the strategy that they use? Me, for example, if I do email marketing, I use the brand name actually. I don't like using Funke from so. But it's involved. People use it. I don't know if it works or if it changes anything.
It changes.
But if you think that's like very good?
Yes, it is. It's very good. Omo, God, it was so sweet. I just remembered something and the joy overwhelmed me. At the height of career wise, in terms of, people are expecting Opey's push notification. People are like, Opey say make I no chop. Why I no go chop? Right? So there is that brand becomes a person that they can interact with. At one point too, when they introduced it, I think that the thing has reduced now. Leo also took a personality of its own.
Yeah, Leo came from UBA.
Leo took a
Leo
personality.
was very popular.
Leo took a personality of its own. And so, it is strategy is decision making, right? I mean,
the same thing with this Duolingo. What's his name?
I can't remember that one's name, Seth. I only know the picture. I don't know.
Duolingo thing.
Right. So strategy is a game of decisions. If you choose a port, if you want to use the name of the company, that's also fine. So everybody should deploy what works for them, but across the board, what should work is that the brand should be the brand, right? So if a name should be a name, yes, sometimes people use the name of the people who started like the stuff, but then the person moves. At one point, right, when it was really Uche from boats, leave me, right? And Uche from boats was also really impactful in terms of ecosystem conversation, right? Imagine that GT Bank had like 1, 2. He wouldn't have left us, especially at that point when GT Bank did something really amazing. They came to school, cut us. Now we cannot leave them. Like, even if service is bad, we just add another account to our GT. And then so
GT Bank was oozing new generation, like everybody new generation.
We used to enter bank and line up. I remember then Ekenwa Road, right, was where you enter, you first sit down in AC. Now that you enter, maybe because they now have more people, you enter, you now line up, everybody is frustrated. That time, enter, they'll give us where to sit down, they'll cater for us. In University of Benin, when they launched the e-center, right, you go to use the electronic that you don't need to meet any human being. There was an electronic e-center. You go there. Sometimes we even just go. They give us internet, so you go there. You charge your stuff, and so that whole experience was a wholesome experience, end to end. We were broke.
Was that technology brand?
We're broke, and so we wanted to use our money to the end. Tell him that I'm a university student. I have 2K. You tell me I can't withdraw. And it's the last cards that I have, and 2K Ali will give me till next tomorrow. Just withdraw to zero.
Withdraw zero.
Zero account balance.
Like this bank was the brand of the youth that time. Everybody see it as the brand that the youth use.
Which is a normal stuff, because as a university student, with a regular reach zero. Come back up. So with a regularly reach zero.
Everybody, I beg.
So they're connected with our struggle. They say, bro, we know that they reach zero. So we want to be the bank that is with you in zero and is with you in 10 billion. So they were with us in zero By God grace, when we get to 10 billion,
Billion.
be with us. Right? So there are they like I remember exactly where their e-center was at Ugbo University of Benin, and how then they now say that when I enter inside that thing that they used to roll me, I should be listening to Asha. Hey, just making me happy. Next thing they give me 737. See those people, oh, they bombard us with left and right brand experience strong.
But how can the tech company replicate this? What's the kind of process like a tech brand can go through?
I don't know. Can you help?
But tell us, Baba. Tell us.
I don't know.
But what's it going to be like if a tech company? Is it going to be money?
Money is going to be part, because you need people to be thinking it's who their job is not customer acquisition.
Oh, you're not going to stress with. Oh, what's the return on this money?
Those people are just thinking culture shaping. That's their job. They are just thinking culture shaping. They are just thinking, how do we make people love us? You give them small budgets and you let them just go and be thinking, how do we make people love us? What are the things that people need that our brand can solve? Those guys are just, there is a bank now that I know that has that team, and I am not surprised at what their sub brand is doing now. I've had to go train like once or twice. Those guys, they are just thinking innovation for the brand. They don't see, not think consign. At the end of the day, their effort will lead to some things, right? And you will be able to count it, because you should not be collecting money without showing results now. Right? However, when they are thinking it, they are just thinking customer satisfaction. When they are thinking it, they are just thinking designing a product type that will fix problems in a certain area. So I mean, it's going to take a lot, and I'm hoping that the richer startups can do it.
I am not of new startup now. Make them drum now.
I'm not expecting it from the guys who do not have runway, who are just still trying to understand.
Big boys now.
Yeah. So I'm not expecting the people who are just trying to but I mean these guys tried it at a point, and they were running good at a point into Switch. I don't know if they're at par with how they were. Now I kind of like saw like the Verve event or the fitness event that Echo hotels, but I don't know if the whole product affinity in terms of brand is as strong as it used to be for InterSwitch. But again, InterSwitch is not typical startup, even though they are. My Oga, I have like mad respect for Mitch, like mad respect for him and what he has built in a period where it was not typical startup experience, right? But again, maybe I will attach them to like the GT banks, right? But in terms of startups, I mean, maybe there is a brand now that is doing some good work. They can do more, but they are doing some good work, which is Money Point. The trajectory is beautiful, but I'm now hoping that it can be scaled with the depth that they now have. But yeah, I'm usually very careful about saying things like this for the sake of national peace and global tranquility, because I also know that like there's someone that was speaking one day, and I agree with it solely. I shy away, except it's close trainings. I shy away from speaking about specific brands because I know that comms is hard, marketing is hard. Everybody are just
does culture influence brand and communication.
Yes.
Culture.
Culture
How do you
rights.
infuse culture to it?
Culture is what determines brand and comms. Like,
The brand culture or the culture of the people?
okay, so which of them are you asking about?
The culture of the people. African culture.
Yes, it does. So there's an example that is standard every time I have this conversation. So one time I heard about it. I don't know, maybe it happened in real life, but I'll just say it as it came. Guy, we should check time because I can talk about brand and comms for 24 hours.
We should get to 1 hour mark.
Okay, we can. I can go on. I think it was Coca-Cola. What I heard, right? I don't know, maybe it's real, right? But it's a story that I always used to teach after I heard it. So they did an ad. The ad was, this person was sad. He drank Coke and he became happy, right? But for us English people, right, who read from left to right, they now did that ad in an Arabic place. Who read from right to left. So what that now showed was this person was happy. He drank Coke and he became sad. And it caused a backlash, according to what I had. But so culture we because now I mean I hear every time. It's just that someone is saying knorr because that's the right pronunciation. Or if you go to the market and say, I want to buy knorr, nobody will give you no. Nobody will give you no. No.
What is knorr?
What is knorr? But that's the right pronunciation. But if you go to Mushi market and say, please, I want to buy knorr. Kini knorr.
They will look at you.
So I mean, the whole experience, yes, culture eats strategy for like breakfast. Another example that I always give is Snap. You know Snap, Eagle Snap.
Yes.
Eagle Snap. Their advert is specific. It did not.
How did you even do that Eagle Snap brand? Like, you did for that particular thing?
Most times, that's right. Some of the things I'm saying here.
Is it crafty like that, or is the users that just style using that? Okay, you buy this thing for prayer, for look.
Some of the things I say here, the things I always used to say inside class. POK, you have catch me on the wrong place because I don't like saying some things outside.
People will pay for your class now.
I used to say it inside class because I don't know how to do things without very giving examples, because examples are what draws them. Snap, they don't know. Nothing concern them with nothing because their target market, they know what to use them for. No. You will not see Snap adverts in some places. They will not.
You won't bother.
If a place is a lot of this or another kind of religion, you will not because already there's a coloration. But they're very consistent. It's the same thing. Maybe one of these days I'll go and hijack Tosin.
Is that why they have this bad man in that their logo?
Yeah, I never know that one. But another people that have hacked it well again. See these FMCG people. God. Again, that's another industry I want to go and play in. Please, if you read this podcast,
that's why.
And you are looking for a brand strategist to just come and help you think or connect dots, please. I just want to be a fly on the wall. I want to be in some of their meetings. Because see, go big. The work that those guys did. Go big has hooked culture like this. He has hooked culture. And it's so interesting that they continue to just deepen their leg around cultural experiences, which now influences the brand. That's why I was not surprised when after the first one, Ojude Oba, they just go and hook it again because it aligns with their brand. It strongly aligns with their brand, right? I mean, so it's yes, it does what Guinness has been doing too, right? See, at one point when I was growing up, I'm not a beer person, but again, the FMCG people, they are the people that teach us a lot of things because 33. Now I don't know what happened, but 3-3.
It was logged in. And trophy honorable.
So it's just what it is. Culture is really important in how these things. Yes, and this one is even a lot of marketing, and that's why traditionally my role, which is a brand strategist, the way it is more maximized in the Nigerian ecosystem is in advertising than in tech. And that's why you have, if you get to talk to brand strategists in the country that have made a lot of money and made a lot of name, right? They are more in the advertising space because brand strategy is an integral part of marketing. You need to think through how people are going to experience before you now go to market. That is one part that Tosin and Co and like, yeah, the ones that I know. And that's at one time we're having conversation and I'm like, bro, what is it that people are saying could come and start up? so like and because the dynamics of the market is different, the experiences of the target audience is also different. So sometimes, because there are different elements of brand strategy. There's a brand strategy part that is for building internal culture, like a lot of other things, right? There's another part that's for marketing and advertising. So there are different expressions of brand strategy. And I was telling, if you not stop me, I can continue to talk, please. Please let me know time. I was having a conversation with someone a couple of days back, and the person said he was looking for growth, and I was like, growth for X or growth for Y? And the person said, is there a difference? So I'm like, yes, there's a difference. I have understood that. I have, over my last short experience, over the last 9 months, I have understood that knowing what to do is different from knowing what to do in a specific place. What do I mean by that? There are principles that guide operations in certain sectors. That knowledge of what to do is not enough. Knowledge of what to do it in this place is what is necessary, right? So both of them are doing growth, but both of them may be excellent across different expressions, because creativity in itself sometimes is tailored. If you go and bring someone that is creative in music, it's different from someone that is creative in fashion.
True.
Both of them are mad. Yes, because they're usually mad.
Let me ask you this last question before we wrap up. How do you learn? How do you learn brand outcomes? Books, courses.
There are different school of thoughts. Books and courses. Courses. Yeah,
which one is the
I've not done a lot of books and courses, sadly. But I've done a lot of observing people. There's something I used to do then in Accra. I would just go out of the house. I would just go and sit down at the mall. Then Accra Mall just came out. So I just sit down at the mall and I would just sit in the middle, because there's usually a middle walkway at the mall. And I would just sit down and be observing people. What they are doing, how they are reacting to things, their reaction to the different shop ads, how people. So I do a lot. I have very, very strong observational skills. And my mind is really blessed in that I pick up information and then I process it later. Like some of the examples I give now, or that I've given on this talk, I have never thought about them before. I have only experienced them. However, when the conversation comes, my mind will drag them. brah, 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 to make a point. So what I do a lot is I do a lot of observations. I am very big on observation. I am very big on looking at people. I am very big. I read a lot of human stuff. When I mean by human stuff, rather than books, I read tweets. Right? What I mean read tweets is I'm seeing people's reaction to everyday stuff, because usually tweets are expressions of people's mind.
True, and in real time.
In real time. And my job is to change people's mind. So what I'm going to read in the book is going to be the structured way of how to do it. But me, first of all, I don't go to I go to the or another one I do, I just go into places and just go and be happy. I think there are very few people in this world, let me brag, that can ask questions better than me.
Yeah, interesting.
So I go, they ask questions, die. Immediately, if I enter a place and I'm very comfortable, next thing. So what do you guys do here? Wow. So what do you think of when you do this? Bro, I ask questions like mad. Ask my friends.
You're very curious. That's what people are talking about a curious mind these days. That's can have a curious mind.
Bro, I ask questions like mad, and it's like, so I try. But again, these days I'm beginning to read now. And so most of the things that has not happened is that I'm now learning structured ways to do the things that I learned to
theoretical stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to do school. I've not done a lot of courses, but I'm still going to do school. I should be doing school in 2026. But yeah, because I need to get back to scalable stuff. But in terms of my observation is on steroids, right? So I just try to look at what people are saying, look at what people are doing, ask as much questions as I can, get to some places to just look around and just observe people's reaction to things, go to comment section and see what people are saying about things. Although now, as a result of, for the sake of national peace, the world is getting mad. So I'm now guiding the things that my eyes are exposed to. Let my fragile mind breathe.
All right. Thank you, Opeyemi, for coming on the show. It's been more than an hour talking to you. I so much enjoy it, and I learned a lot today. Number one, at least I know the difference between brands communication and branding communication and marketing right now. I can see the distinct difference right now because I'm a marketing person, and I always say, brands and marketing. Communication and marketing, the same thing. At least now I know it's not the same thing, and I can see it in a deeper sense. That's like one takeaway for me today. I'll do a trivia game, then you give us something for the last, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
So my trivia game is like this. I'll mention a sector. You tell me the brand you like the most, or you are enjoying.
Wow.
So let's start. FMCG.
I know I have the brand I like the most. What are the FMCG again?
Anyone you find
brand I like the most? It's not. I like Coca-Cola.
Like Coca-Cola. Okay. Bank.
It's not. I'm trying to reduce how much I take them, but yeah. In terms of brand, I love the brand Coca-Cola.
Okay, bank.
Bank. How do I hide?
Traditional bank.
How do I hide? Where am I alert?
Fintech.
Paystack.
Phone.
Apple. iPhone.
Beverages.
Which ones are beverages, right?
Milo. Coke and oats. Beverage.
So is it brands I love the most in terms of my experience of the brand, or like the one I used to buy the most?
The one that are doing something in branding that you kind of you feel their work.
I don't know if they are still doing it, but the one they did when I was small is enough to mark my mind. Cadbury breakfast television. I can't forget it till I go to heaven. they were a staple on my Saturday. I don't know if you experienced it, but Cadbury Breakfast used to do cartoons every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And like on RSTV, I grew up in Port Harcourt, so yeah, River State Television. So on every Saturday morning, it was Cadbury Breakfast Television. And I think, yeah.
Lastly, alcoholic drink.
Just I don't know a lot of things that's happening there.
Or let's do gin and beer.
I don't know a lot of things that's happening there, but Smirnoff is doing a good job globally. Yeah, Smirnoff is doing a good job. But it's not my space, and I don't experience it a lot. So those who feel like more people are doing, please answer it in comment section.
Okay, I have this question in my mind before I let you go.
Yes, sir.
Guinness sponsors Big Brother Naija. Are they trying to get us to drink Guinness? I don't drink Guinness. I don't know. I don't see the correlation.
Why are you not asking me? Ask the brand manager at Guinness now. Ask the brand manager.
I'm speaking to one of the big names in brand in Nigeria. I'm looking at Guinness and Big Brother Naija. Do the older generation that drinks it? Well, me, I don't know if young guys drink Guinness actually. I've only known about 2-3.
They do, by the grace of God.
Maybe they are trying to tap into that new generation. That is why.
See now, you're answering the question by yourself.
So, sponsor the show that the new generation watch. I get it now. Get it now. So, what will you leave us with, Opeyemi? Thank you so much for coming to this report. What will you leave us with? Any last word?
That's a difficult question. Everything I've said is what I'm leaving you with. But I strongly believe, and I always talk about it everywhere I go. Africa has to become Africa, and Africans will be the ones responsible for taking Africa to where Africa should be. What that just means is, if you ever climb out of where we are as a country, ensure that you put ladder down for other people to climb. I always say that we are all we have, and that's a major mantra for my life. That we are all we have. What that just means is, anything I have, anything I can do, anything I see. Next thing is, how many other people can get into the mix and just see and just scale. Over in the next 30, 40, 50 years, Africa is going to have the youngest population in the world, which is the most active population in the world. Currently, we have, in terms of averagely globally, Africa currently has one of the youngest active population globally. Imagine that young population does not have a direction. That is a recipe for chaos. I do not know if our leaders are focusing on it, if they understand it, because it just means that if a lot of young people don't have something to look out for, they themselves will not rest, they will not sleep, and that thing that they are gathering for their children. I strongly feel like if there's anything I want to leave any other person with, there is something we grew up with that is getting out of it, which is our community nature, which is helping and supporting people. It was easy to help and support people growing up. Now everybody is, and I know that some people have been hurt, especially the people that are good. They have been scammed. They have been attacked. They have been maimed for doing good. But I still feel like we need a critical mass of people to do the right thing to take this continent out. What I'm just going to say is, it's okay to supposedly, yes, you may hate the government. Yes, you may feel like nothing good can come out of the continent, so to speak. I don't agree, but you may. However, you also see that there are very good people around you and something good can come out of them. Why don't you do your own little to ensure that many good things come out from many more young people? I'm very, very strong on Africa. I'm very, very strong.
Thank you.
And only Africans
Thank you.
can build Africa.
Thank you, Opeyemi. I'll see you some other time. Hopefully, when we want to do another thing around brass and combs.
Yeah, no problem. Have a great time.